Well, good evening, everybody. Scarpo here, and in case you haven't heard, the world is coming to an end. Now, I know, I've said it before, but this time it's really going to happen. Okay, now first off, I know I'm going to get some shit when I talk about this subject, because I always do. The whole Nibiru complex issue, and, you know, actually, it started. I had this comment I made on a Nibiru video the other day. It was actually a while back I made the comment, but somebody responded to it and basically just, called me a bunch of names and said I'm just an idiot, I'm ignorant, Nibiru's coming, and I said, well, whatever, I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'll see the proof when it's there. But I explained that Zecharia Sitchin, had started this whole thing, and that it may be merely an archetype. I was trying to be respectful about it. But then the guy started, I guess he went to my page and he started making fun of Buddha, calling him a fat bald dude and all this stuff. Like, he was trying to antagonize me. I guess he thought I was a Buddhist, because on my main page I have like a picture of Buddha, I guess, from my intro video. Forgot to put that on there. And, I told him I agree with you. Fuck Buddha, burn the Buddha. It means nothing. It's a symbol, just like everything. And this guy just kept at it, he was just trying to find something else to pick at. And it reminded me of, like, how many people who are, doomers, they always tell you, it's coming, the end's coming, and if you dispute that, then all of a sudden they start, they don't provide any real, evidence of what's going on. They merely just tell you how messed up you are and how wrong you are. And it gets old, but, it's comical, because it's like, but it's sad at the same time. So the question arises, why do I care at all? Well, I only care because my fellow man, my fellow woman, all of you out there, have this one mortal life as you. And as cheesy as that sounds, you'll hear all these gurus telling you all these stories about how to live, and it's like, I'm really cautious. I don't tell people, what they should or shouldn't believe, because that's really their deal. I just know what's healthy and what's not for me. But when it comes to these things, this fear porn, people attach to these ideas, and it's not the people that believe it, that have always believed it, that I'm trying to reach. It's the people who are maybe new to this. Like, I've heard people come on and say, I've seen comments on these videos like, wow, I had no idea this was going on, I didn't realize the world was so messed up, oh shit, we're screwed, and like, they're serious. These are kids that are coming to say, they have some hope for the future, and then there's people telling them that, well, here comes this comet, it's going to wipe out everything on Earth, and some people are saying it's going to change our DNA, we're going to be better people, and some people are saying we're all going to die and be doomed, and really all these people are just totally full of shit. I hate to say it, but every one of you, you're all full of shit. You have absolutely nothing to stand on from these doomsday predictions. I've heard them all. The whole 2012 thing was laughable, because I'd hear all these people spouting off about how the Mayan calendar predicts the end of the world, and I'd be like, no, actually, I've studied the Mayan calendar. It predicts the end of a Baktun, but not of the world. There's nothing of the sort. And then, people start spreading this nonsense, and it's easy to just ignore it, because I've opted to just, if I've subscribed to a channel and they start saying shocking proof, this is coming, or the end is near, I just unsubscribe right away. I just have no time in my life for that kind of nonsense. But a couple of years back, dude, I was really into, a lot of that stuff, I was a Nibiru believer for a while. I was a chemtrail fanatic for a while. And don't get me wrong, I still believe, I know that chemtrails exist. I've been through this with a lot of people, but my only dispute is about the validity that every extended contrail is a chemtrail, because of atmospheric conditions and pressure changes in the environment and global warming and all these different things. So no matter how rational I try to be, no matter how fair I try to be, these people just turn it into a personal battle, because they're angry about something. So that's why it matters to me. It's not, if these people want to live in fear their entire lives, that's fine. This video is for the people out there who maybe wonder about these things. Is the end of the world coming, or is this something new, or are there any prophecies that say this or that? When I was about 18, I was really into Nostradamus, and I believed all the hype, and Nostradamus he had a gift, and many of his prophecies have come true in one way or another, but many of them are so obscured it's hard to know exactly what they mean. In other words, it seems like every time something big happens, there's instantly a dozen people to say, see, this is where it says in the prophecies that this was going to happen. But before it happened, nobody can utilize these prophecies. So most of it's just B-Ess. And it's amazing to me that so many people are building their beliefs about history. It's bad enough that we believe the history books and what we've been taught, and now we're just believing YouTube guys who are out there making connections that may or may not be real. So, yeah, you can sit back and just say, oh well, let them do their thing, but, I'm going to speak up with a rational voice and say bullshit, and call bullshit, because Nibiru is bullshit. I had, people will bring up other things talking about how the planets are being affected by this and that, and it must be this and it must be that, and I'm like, we can barely observe our own planets with our telescopes from here, and we think that we can really predict that this particular thing is what we think it is, or that this ancient text tells us of this or that. The more we learn, the less we know, and that's just the way the world goes. We start learning true history and it confuses things, and now we don't have everything put down so easily for us. So it's like we're running around scattered, trying to gather back our sanity, I guess. And there's a large segment of society that is obsessed with the end days, and it's a totally unhealthy way to live, because if we assume that the end is imminent, that the end is coming, then, although people don't realize that, it takes away the motivation to want to change. It basically takes the burden off the individual to have to do anything about life. It says, oh well, we're doomed anyway. So, that's the way I see it. Those are just my opinions. And, hey, if Nibiru pops up out of the corner, I'll be there to say I was wrong, but I'll tell you, if it really does come, there sure as hell won't be anybody to say that they were right. There won't be any I told you so's when the end does come. The shit'll just hit the fan. Every day I realize, I believe more and more that when something really finally does happen, it's going to catch us so off guard we'll have no damn clue what happened. It ain't going to be Ebola, and it sure as hell ain't going to be ISIS. And it's most likely not going to be Nibiru. But, maybe Cthulhu? Take care.